Welcome to the 2013 training videos. This will cover line of scrimmage and we'll then move into goal line on this same video. Let's start with play number 1. We're going to cover encroachment. This play, the entire defense jumps off. There's no movement by the offense, so this is a great call for encroachment and a nice job by the head linesman by coming in and giving the preliminary signal. The only thing we need to be concerned about is the clock. It's running, so don't forget to shut it down.
Remains first down.
Trying to time it hard.
Play number 2 is an encroachment call on the very first play of the game, so this was after a return or something. The ball should have been placed right at the 30, and I'm quite sure that the center probably, when he picked it up, adjusted it forward, which would make this not encroachment. So have a little leeway with these guys when the game's opening up and you know where the ball is supposed to be, because even though he does jump and he gets a little bit in there, I think it's partially because the center adjusted the ball. So give him a little bit of slack on this. We can always talk to him about it, but we don't need to be disrupting the game anytime something this close happens. Play number 3, encroachment possibility. It was a no call. I like it as a no call. And you can see that, boy, visually it looks like it might have been there. But when you slow this down, and this is really what you have to do in your mind when you're on the line of scrimmage, as this defender is planting that questionable foot, the ball is being snapped right there. It's just so fast. So this is a great pass on this play, particularly since he's not full speed forward, he's actually pushing back. It's a philosophy that's been used in the NFL, even though they don't have a dead neutral zone. We can still use it in this instance, and I like what the officials did in not calling this as encroachment and allowing the game to proceed. Play number 4, I believe, is a false start for simulating a snap. And the reason I believe it is because they do a real rapid jump style shift with a large number of people at the same time. This is solely designed to draw the defensive team off sides, and that falls into the simulating a snap category. It doesn't mean that teams can't shift multiple people at the same time. It just means that they can't shift in such a manner. Here's another one, same game, but the team switch. It just means that they can't shift in such a manner that it simulates a snap or the start of action at the play. And when you move a bunch of guys at the same time, after you're already set, it needs to be very clear that this is a shift and not a snap. And you can see these guys jumping up. So I believe these are both simulating a snap, should both be placed on the offense. Play number 6 was an illegal formation call. It was an accurate call. And if you count the 3 running backs in the backfield, that's 3, plus the quarterback is 4, and the receiver up top with his back foot on the 20, that's number 5 in the backfield. And we do what we can to try to allow these formations to be correct. But in this case, that guy's too far back. This is an illegal formation and a correct call. Nice job by the officiating crew. Play number 7 is a good example of one of the plays where we want to make the formation right. Now we've got a guy on the line at the bottom of the screen, 2 in the backfield, quarterback and a running back. The guy at the top of the screen was the guy that was called for illegal formation, and an argument can be made that even though his foot may be behind the waistline of the center, he is leaning forward and may actually have another foot in front of that foot, at least of his body, that may reach the center. So that's why in these cases we give him a little bit of leeway. He's not gaining an advantage by being in that spot. It's better that after the play you just go warn him and say, hey, I'll spot you up if you're going to be on the line, and let the game continue smoothly. Play number 8, there's a potential for an illegal motion here. There was not an illegal motion foul called, and I'm in support of that. I like a warning on this, preventive officiating, because it's really tight. So when you look when he's moving up, you can see the ball's being snapped now. It's really close to when he makes that cut, and I think that that is worth preventive officiating and giving him a warning on. So hopefully that was done by this officiating crew. Play number 9. Now this is illegal motion. It was not called on the field. I'm not sure why. But you can see number 13 takes a slight angle, which was okay initially. But then he changes his angle pretty drastically, squares his shoulders up, and moves upfield. So his first angle, I really wouldn't have had a problem with this. It's really within 1 yard, not much of a stretch. But when he takes that cut from this point before the snap and turns his shoulders up, he's moving a yard forward very rapidly, squaring his shoulders up. That's what makes this, without question, an illegal motion penalty and should have been called. Play number 10 is a disconcerting act, which falls under the unsportsmanlike conduct category, and that's when a defensive player does some form of jerky action, most of the time combined with a hut or a loud noise, to make the offense false start. Now, I've isolated his sound, so go ahead and listen to it here. So there you go. That act, that sound, creating the offensive movement, makes that an unsportsmanlike conduct foul against the defense and correctly called. Let's go ahead and move into some of the goal line plays. The first goal line play, which is number 11, is the umpire thumbs up signal on a touchdown. And we've been trying to get rid of this for a couple of years, and we've been talking about it on these tapes. Look, here's a whole group of people that need watching. And you got an umpire giving 2 thumbs up to a wing guy that's got a much better view than he does. We're taking 2 seconds of dead ball officiating out of the game, which is really desperately needed for an incorrect thumbs up. The guy's knee is down. Now, granted, the backside wing official is ringing it up as a touchdown, and that's his call, but we don't need the umpire with the thumbs up. Here's another example, and this one takes 3 seconds out of the dead ball officiating. Thumbs up, big group of people who need to be watched. Check with the other guy, thumbs up. It's not his call. He should be working that pile, making sure there's nothing going on that's going to create ill will. If the official on the sideline needs help, they will run in and they will ask you your opinion. But please stop giving that auxiliary signal. When you give that, the coach says touchdown. What if the wing guy comes in and says no? Now we're giving conflicting signals. So let's try to eliminate that one. Play number 13 is a catch at the goal line while the receiver is going to the ground. And we know based on our catch, no catch philosophy that if he is going to the ground, he has to maintain control of that ball. We've got an official in a perfect position, by the way. He moved right down to the goal line. Now, what's interesting about this play, correctly called a touchdown, is it's not a catch yet. Yes, he has possession. Yes, the ball's in the end zone, but he's going to the ground, so he has to complete the catch. As he goes to the ground, if he loses possession and regains it without it hitting the ground, no touchdown short of the goal line. If he loses possession and it hits the ground, incomplete. But he holds on to the ball as he hits the ground. Therefore, we're going to go ahead and give him the catch at the point where he first controlled it, because that is where he caught the ball, because he maintained possession, and rule a touchdown. Good job. Play number 14, we're going to talk mechanics at the goal line. The last play, the official was in a perfect position right on the goal line or in line with the goal line. In this case, we got a real tight play, and you can see the official is a little out of position, and that raises a bunch of questions in my mind. Is the guy down here? Where's the ball? If he's not down here, is he down at the next point? And where's the ball? And if he's not down here, is he down when he's definitely down here, and where's the ball at that point? And the only way that we can really truly understand that is not to be behind the 1 yard line where that official was here. We need to be in a position to see that knee, to see the goal line, and the only place we can see both of those acts is to be at a safe distance in line with the goal line. So it's a good mechanics refresher. Play 15 may be a little bit more difficult because we're starting with the ball on the 6, and guys say, well, I'm not going to go to the goal line at the 6. Well, that's true and not true. If it's a run to your side, you're going to want to stay in line or in front of it. If the guy goes into a pass, you're going to want to get to the goal line, even from here. So as soon as you read pass, you're going to have to try to get to that goal line, be in a position to see that guy stretch the ball. Now, how do we accomplish that? We've got to do a couple of different things on this type of play in order to do that. First of all, the line to gain is the 1. And if the line to gain is the 1, then the chains are going to be in our way if we want to get down into a position where we can properly rule on the goal line. So in your pregame, and also before every single play in a situation where your chains are on the 1, you say, at the snap, I want you backing out so I have a clear lane to get to where I need to be, which is that red line, so that you can see the extension. Play 16 is a double action with a snap from the 10. And if we're in a 5-man mechanic, this is tough to get because you've got to get to the goal line. So in these situations, you want to try to stay as even or as close to the runner with respect to the field of play as possible so that you can come in and try to pick up any of that action that results or ends right near the goal line like this play does. In this case, you can see that the runner is down, his knee is on the ground, the ball is short of the goal line, so it was a good call by the officiating crew. Play number 17, this is a great example of needing to see the ball. You can't do anything around the goal line until you have confirmed visually that you've got eyes on the ball. And you can see that the wing official comes in and he's spotting the ball at the 1-yard line. But watch this fumble. The ball comes out, we've got a couple of different views of it, and then when we get to the view that shows the angle from where this official was, you can see that it's clearly an incorrect call because he does not have eyes on the football. So as he comes in here, he rules him down right here. And if you look at a stop photo, you might agree. But when you go back and look at this, you can see that the ball is loose. And he doesn't have a clear view of the ball, so he should not have any reason for marking progress. So be careful, particularly around the goal line, about marking progress until you see the football and can verify who has it and when they had it. Play number 18 is a double action on a long run, and these are difficult, particularly in a 5-man mechanic, because it's going to be a back judge only call. And the two most common forms of double action are going to be this type, where a guy's knees hit and then he flops forward. That's a little easier. And then the second most common type is the dive with the knee drag. Now you're going to have some variations to those, but those are the two that you see most often, and you just have to train yourself to get them. Play 19, this is the umpire mechanics, and when you get in here inside the 10, it's a little difficult sometimes. We want to make sure that you're not on the goal line when the guy crosses, and we want to make sure that you don't become part of the play. And I think when you start scrambling in an action-packed area, that's when you start running the risk of becoming part of the play. And what we'd like to suggest is that if you feel things collapsing on you, just stay there until the last minute when you can bail out in a direction that you know is not going to impact the play.
And looks like he used the umpire as a blocking back.
Yes, he did use him as a blocking back. And the main thing is to stay safe. And you've also got another avenue there. You can back straight into the end zone to escape some of that pressure. Play number 20 and the last play on this section of the video is a fumble into and out of the end zone. I really like the decisiveness and the understanding of this play scenario that this official has. When the player fumbled the ball, he gets a beanbag down at the spot of the fumble. He understands that. He's leading the runner as much as possible or staying even with him. And then when the fumble goes into the end zone and out the sideline, he understands the process. He's already been prepared mentally. He preloaded the situation and immediately rules a touchback. So it's a great job by that official.
What's that music?
I think Mr. Krabs is gonna sing.
Oh, great.
If I could talk to money, how great my life would be. We'd tell each other secrets, all their friends would visit me. I trade in filthy riches, which is clean enough for me. Or if you could tell me what you want, how happy we would. We'd surely be the best of friends, we'd never disagree. There couldn't be a downside, not one that I could see. If I could talk to money, come along, sing with me.
No thanks, gotta go.
I feel we have to pee.
If I could talk to money, and it could talk to me, we'd always be the best of friends for all eternity.
What did I miss?